Good afternoon to you all, and welcome to another Principals Hour, the last day of January. And indeed, we are very much happy to have you joining us live. I must first apologize for the late start. We had some technical difficulties, which was beyond our control, and we are indeed live at this moment. So I want to welcome all my viewers on Facebook and YouTube. I hope that you are hearing me loud and clear as usual. We missed you last week. We could not broadcast live because, again, of some challenges, but we didn't want to miss out on another opportunity to engage all our stakeholders, our parents, our students, our teachers, our past students, our business community, the entire community of Kellits, and by extension, worldwide. So we are very much happy to be joining you another time. My producer and technical assistant, Mr. Chambers, is here with us also. You may not see him from time to time, but he is the person that really pulled the strings and allow your principal, Jermaine Harris, to be live, that you can hear and ask your questions about the happenings at your beloved school, Kellits High. So we have a packed program lined up for you today, and we want to get straight into that production. So we hope that you are well. We hope that you are indeed comfortable wherever you are, whether in your living room, in your motor vehicle, wherever on the road you are. We're happy that you could join us. So not last week, the last show that we had, we highlighted some of our top performers, and they were all females. Now, this afternoon, we want to start the commendation by highlighting two of our male students, our past students, who actually move on to further their studies and were successful. So we want to start the program, Mr. Chambers, by highlighting those two past students. So 2 weeks ago, we focused on the females, and now we want to turn the spotlight on our males. So as soon as Mr. Chambers is able to highlight those two individuals, we will commend them, and we want to big up all the others who we have not gotten in touch with as yet. As soon as you would have gotten those information, my viewers, I want you to share them with me so we can highlight. I'm not sure if we can get a little bigger, Mr. Chambers. That's the all right. So we have Renardo Richards, a past head boy of Kelly's High School. I'm not sure if you can see it clearly, but he's on my screen at the moment, Mr. Renardo Richards. He just completed his bachelor's. Yes, we get a little bigger. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Sir Chambers. All right, so he just completed his Bachelor of Science in Marine Transportation, and that's from the Caribbean Maritime University, CMU. And we want to commend Renardo for that achievement. And we know that he will continue to fly the flag of Kelly's High School high. A commendation, Renardo, for attaining your Bachelor of Science. And I know that you will not stop there, but you will continue to make yourself, make your parents, and make your family and your school family proud. All right? Congratulations. The next person we want to big up before we move into our other features. So another young man, he went to CMU as well, came to Kellits, got his CXC subjects, and then he moved on to further his education at the university level. His picture will be coming up anytime now, so we can highlight his success as well. Right, so just a moment, my viewers. I hope you are seeing and hearing loud and clear. All right, so our next top performer, I want to pick up Mr. James Foster. He also went to CMU and he received a Bachelor of Science in Logistics and Supply Chain Management. And we say, big up, Mr. Foster, for doing yourself proud and your family, and your school is indeed happy to recognize you this afternoon. All right? Thank you, Mr. Chambers. So those are our two males. So the males should be feeling proud now because most of the times the males are not doing so well academically, but at Kelly's High School, our males are holding their own. And I hope that others will be viewing these past students and they too will be inspired to even do better. So congratulations again. All right, Friday, I received an email from the Ministry of Education, which is good news. I have not gotten all the details as yet, but what I can confirm is that Kellett's High School is on the list of 200 and plus schools, high schools that will be reopened, and that was effective January 28th. However, we will be meeting starting tomorrow, a series of meetings with Board of Management and staff at Kelly's High School. And hopefully by tomorrow, I will have definitive words in terms of the starting date for face-to-face classes. So yes, you are hearing it now live that Kelly's High School will reopen for face-to-face, not tomorrow, and most likely not for this week. So I want you to hear me loud and clear. Hopefully not for this week because we have to do some consultations. We have to prepare teachers. We have to prepare the parents. We have to prepare the students. But what I can tell you is that we will be reopened face to face. If it's not this week, it will be next week. Definitely it won't pass next week. So for those persons who are listening, you can spread the word. There are some students who may not complete making their uniform. You have this week for those persons who need to go to the hairdresser, go to the barber. Yes, you need to get those out for this week because face-to-face classes will resume in a matter of days. I have not gotten all the details. I heard that a list is being circulated and Kelly's High School is on that list. Tomorrow at 10, I will be having a meeting with my regional office and I will have all the details to share with my parents and students. All right. So we will be just hold the questions there. I'll answer the questions after this hold the questions there. So let me say it again. We are on the list of schools to reopen. What I can't tell you is the specifics in terms of which grades will come in, which days, when we will start officially, but we will be using tomorrow and this week to basically iron out all the nuts and bolts so that we have everything in place for face-to-face. So the good news is that we are on the list to reopen, and I was very happy when I got that email because if you have been following this program, I have been saying that Kelly's High School is ready to accommodate students. We were just waiting on the green light from the Ministry of Education. Now we have received the green light. We just need to tie up some loose ends, and then I will communicate that message through the PTA WhatsApp groups on Facebook, and that message will go out in terms of the specifics, really, the grades that will be coming in, and the days, and so on. So face-to-face is upon us, and we are very much happy that the ministry have seen it fit to allow schools like Kelly's and others to reopen to give our students an opportunity to have face-to-face classes. All right, so just take the question. I'll take the questions on that, Mr. Chambers, if there are any questions on face-to-face before I move into mid-year exams. Is it for everyone because it says for those doing exams? Well, I'm not sure, but I'll get that information tomorrow, Johnson. So at the meeting at 10, I will definitely find out if it is for all students or just exam students. All right, so you will get further updates. Miss Grant, sir, we need money to do all that. It's sudden money to do that. To do what, Crystal? To do what? Remember that you would have been told that face-to-face is coming, so I'm not sure why you say it is sudden. If you have been following this program, the last time I was on here, I would have said that we got 100% satisfactory grading from the Ministry of Health, and therefore it was almost certain that we would get the green light. So I'm not certain why you say it is sudden, but you should have been preparing in terms of if you were following this program and listening to your principal. All right, Mrs. Parchment, very good news. Yes, indeed, it's very good news. And I also heard that my neighboring school, that is your past school, is also on the list. So I will not call that name because I'm not sure if the principal want me to announce that, but I understand. I have not seen the list officially. I heard that a list is going on, but I heard that my neighboring school is also on it. All right, so good news. And parents, we should be on, we should be get the school supply. Well, the good thing, Miss Grant, is that we are going to reopen, and I don't think it will take much for you to get your students supply. I don't know what supply, but I guess you will get that sorted out. The important thing, if you were so inclined, I know that you would want school to reopen, so I guess you will find whatever it takes to get your students out. All right. So that is it for face-to-face reopening, and you will get more details in coming days. So mid-year exams will begin tomorrow, and this will run for 3 weeks. This exam, before we got the announcement, we were planning to have this exam online. I think we will have to now go back to the drawing board and see what will happen at least the 2 last weeks. So I know for this week, we will start with online. What did I miss? All right, I'll just do a recap after Ms. Johnson. All right, so hold on, Mr. Chambers, I'll do a recap. Just one thing you would have missed, and I'll do a recap at the end because we only have 1 hour to tie in, and it's a packed program today. So the first week, we will start mid-year exams online. So the exams will be given through Google Classroom, and students will be asked to complete. We have stretched out this period for 3 weeks so that students who are unable to get on, they will have a long duration in terms of completing their scripts. If we are going to change to face-to-face assessment, then we will definitely provide more information to parents. But the first week will be online. I'm not certain about the second and third week, but after we meet as staff members, we will determine the method that we will use for face-to-face assessment, if that is so. So mid-year exam begins tomorrow, and I hope that the students are preparing themselves so that they will be able to perform to the best of their ability. I know that it is very difficult at this time, especially to navigate all the situations around us, but we still have to do some assessments to see where our students are at. May not be a fair assessment, but we still have to do some assessment so that we can at least gauge our students where they're at and what we need to do. So you'll hear more about the mid-year exams, if it will continue online for the 3 weeks, or we will do 1 week online on the other 2 weeks face-to-face. You will hear more about that. All right, the next point has to do with SBAs and IAs. SBAs, school-based assessments. This is a part of the overall grade for students who are sitting CXC exams. And I want to encourage those students who manage to pay for the exams to take your SBAs seriously, because this is what would have caused many students not to do well on a yearly basis. They do not spend enough time to complete their SBAs. And I want to encourage my students to seek the help from your teachers, from other persons who are able to assist you, so you can maximize. If you can get a full score for your SBAs, you're on your way to passing that subject. So if the SBA is marked out of 40, you should score at least maximum 40 or close to 40, so that when you go into the exam, if even you do not do so well, your SBA grade would have been at a high standard. So spend some time. Please do not take this for granted. Over the years, we have seen some students who did not complete their SBAs. And as a result of that, even if you do the exams, you're going to get ungraded, because the computation of the final grades has to do with a combination of your SBA scores and your exam scores. So take your SBA seriously. If you're having challenges, reach out to your teachers so that your teachers can provide the necessary guidance. For IAs, that is internal assessments, those are for the CAPE students, grades 12 and 13. You too, I'm asking that you take it more seriously. I know that for this group, because you would have gone through CXC, you would have gone some knowledge and some understanding in terms of SBAs and what it's all about. So we don't have much issue at sixth form, but we do have some students who do not maximize the scores, and that is what we're encouraging you to do, to make sure that when you submit your drafts, so you submit pieces of work to your teachers so that they can mark them, give you your feedback. You can see where you would have need to brush up on, and you work on those so that you can maximize. What we tend to find is that some students only hand over one final piece of work. And when you hand over one piece of work, the teacher just have to give you a grade. So what you need to do is to work with the timeline. So if teacher said submit chapter 1 for this period, you try to meet that deadline, then chapter 2, then chapter 3, and so on. So at least your teacher can give you continuous feedback. All right, so that's it for SBAs and IAs, and I hope that those parents and students who are listening, you will take those very seriously. Now, tomorrow is the start of February, and there are two major events that will be observed during this period. There's a third one that I'm going to focus on later on, but there are two main ones that are celebrated during the month of February. And as a school, we want to give you a little synopsis, or give you a little idea in terms of what these two events are all about. But during the month of February, the culture agent and her team, that's Mrs. Dunstan and her team, along with the humanities department, which is now headed by Ms. Kelligan, they will be organizing a series of events that we will be observing as we commemorate Black History Month and Reggae Month. So we have put together some information, and we hope that it will whet your appetite and it will give you some level of update and information as it relates to these two important events, which will start tomorrow. So we will start with the Black History Month presentation, and I hope that you will be enlightened at this time. So we can go to that now, Mr. Chambers. We're just waiting on that PowerPoint to come up. The Black History Month. All right, so as we wait on, yes, it's coming up anytime now. So for students, history students, for the Black race, we take this time very serious. All right, you can put it on the slideshow, or let's see if it will come up a little clearer. All right, so we'll be looking at 10 facts. Based on the time that we have, you can do your research in your own time, and we hope that you will find this information very enlightening, and it will empower you to seek to learn more about the Black race. It is Black, Mr. Chambers. I'm not sure what is happening. We just wait on that PowerPoint to come up. Not sure what is happening. So we want to look at 10 facts about Black History Month. It's not coming up on that. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it clearly, my viewers. We're trying to get it on slideshow. So we start with a powerful quotation from the legendary Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And he says that a people without the knowledge of their past, history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. All right, so in other words, if you do not seek to know your past and your origin, you're dying. And we at Kelly's High School, we seek to enlighten our students and our staff about the history, where we're coming from, and how we got here, and how we can seek to preserve this history and this legacy and pass it on to generations to come. All right, move to the next slide. Not sure what's happening there. All right, so Black History Month began as Negro History Week, and this started in the United States of America. So it was a 1-week celebration, and it was called Negro History Week. Then in 1976, it is observed annually in the United States, in Canada, in February, and while in United Kingdom, it is observed in October. So we would have basically adopt the model from United States. And in my research, I did not find exactly when it started in Jamaica in terms of when we start to observe, but we started, it was really started in 1976 in those countries. So February is dedicated as Black History Month, honoring the triumphs and struggles of Africans throughout history. It is presently celebrated during February in Jamaica, and it is a time when Jamaicans of African descent reflects upon the struggles and history of Black people. You know that Black people, for those persons who are students of history, you know that we have gone through great struggles but we are triumphant because we are resilient and we are overcomers. So a special focus is placed on those who have stood up for the rights, the equality, and justice of Black people so that Black people today can enjoy a better quality of life. You know that in the past, Blacks were not treated as equal, and there were certain jobs and certain opportunities that would not be given to Blacks. But today, because of our forefathers, we are seeing, well, there are still some struggles, especially in our neighboring country. But in Jamaica, I believe that the rights and equality and justice that would have improved significantly, and we want to honor these Black patriots, these Black patriarchs. All right, next slide, Mr. Chambers. So also it is a time when different Jamaican media groups, schools, and some social organizations create a heightened awareness of history of Black people. So during this time, we would focus on those Black people that would have stood out over time. So in Jamaica, special reflection is made upon the lives of people like Martin Luther King and our very popular known hero, Marcus Garvey, and all the rest of our national heroes, including the Right Excellent Paul Bogle, Sam Sharp, Norman Manley, Alexander Bustamante, George William Gordon, and Nanny of the Maroons. So usually the focus is placed on these individuals, but there are several others. Mary C. Cole, there are the Taki, there are several others that you can research and find out in terms of what impact they would have had in terms of our Black history. So reflection is also made on Jamaica's historic past, from the Arawak, we would have the Tainos coming up to Christopher Columbus, really Spaniards invasion. Then we had the British settlers, and then the Africans and the Maroons. So for student of history, you would have known the time zone in terms of what happened during our past and how we got here in 2021. So Black History Month also provides the opportunity to celebrate our athletes who have contributed to Jamaica being a sprinting superpower. So in terms of competing with our first world country, we can compete in track and field. We may not be able to compete in terms of our economy, in terms of other areas of our society, but in terms of sports, and namely track and field, we are superpower, and we focus on those individuals as well. And you know several names. This program won't allow me to highlight all of them. So there are some quotes that we want to share with you from Kelly's High School, and these quotes are dear to my heart, and all of them are from Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And the first one: if you have no confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life. Africa for the Africans at home and abroad. The Black skin is not a badge of shame, but rather a glorious symbol of national greatness. If you have no confidence in self, well, I think that one was said before. Can move on, Mr. Chambers. I think there's one that says with confidence. Yes, that's one, but with confidence, you have won before you have started. That's the power of confidence. So without it, you are twice defeated. But with confidence, you have won even before you have started. And my young people, you have to develop that level of confidence. Whatever you are going to take on, believe that others have done it, and you too can do it as well. Hope you mighty race, accomplish what you will. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. And you know that Bob Marley would have put that in a song, and it is one of a song that would have been, played all over the world. And progress is the attraction that moves humanity. So if you're not moving forward, if you're not making progress in your life, then you are static and you are basically not maximizing your true potential. So those are the quotes that we want to leave with you from Kelly's High School. The cultural team, they will be doing more and just giving you a little taste of what to come so that you can understand that we are observing this event at Kelly's High School. We would have been doing it face to face, and virtually we are also doing it. And you will hear more about Black History Month. We can go to Reggae Month now, Mr. Chambers. We take that clipping on Reggae Month. Then we want to look on a little on Safer Sex Week, which is coming up on February the 8th through to the 12th. So this month is, you could, before you go there, could you find the birthdays? In my research, I realized that several of our icons, our popular reggae artists, they would be celebrating birthdays during the month of February. And these are the ones that I would have found. You could put up that list, Mr. Chambers. We share it with our viewers. The reggae artist who will be celebrating their birthdays during the month of February. You know, tomorrow will be, it's a bit small. I don't know if you can get a little bigger, Mr. Chambers, not sure, but tomorrow will be Dennis Brown, and he was born in 1957. Trying to get it a little bigger. Then on the 2nd, all right, thank you. We have Bim Sherman. His current name, Jarrett Lloyd Vincent. He was born in 1950, especially for my older audience. You would familiar with those names. Then we have Sugar. Mitzi Campbell. I did not get her birthday date, but she'll be celebrating on the 3rd. Also on the 3rd, we have Sean Kingston. He was born in 1990. And on the 6th, we have the legendary Robert Nesta Bob Marley, and he was born in 1945. Also on the 6th, we have Bonnie Ruggs. I think he's a part of the Bonnie and Wailers group. Current name there, William Alexander Anthony Clark, born 1948. On the 6th, also we have Derek Ariat, another musician, 1939. On the 6th as well, we have Spanner Banner, current name Joseph Bonner, born in 1959. Go up a little more, Mr. Chambers, we identify the rest. There are some others on the list there, you can scroll up. On the 12th, we have Cutty Ranks, Philip Thomas, was born in 1965. On Valentine's Day, we have Christopher Martin. Many of our students would be familiar with him. Winner of Rising Star, 1987. On the 15th, Teflon, he will be celebrating his birthday. In 1985, he was born. Then we have on the 19th, Bob Andy, 1944. On the 19th as well, we have Horace Andy, born in 1951. On the 21st of February, we have Sophia George, born in 1964. On the 23rd, we have Carlene Davis. I believe Carlene is from Kerners Ridge, right over there. She was born in 1953. On the 24th, we have Cecile, 1974. The 24th also, we have Bobby Sham, born in 1979. And on the 26th, we have Kimani Marley, son of Bob Marley, I believe, 1976. So there are some persons who are celebrating their birthday, and I see why they would have chosen February as Reggae Month. And we want to give you a little facts on Reggae Month. All right, that is coming up shortly. I hope you are hearing me loud and clear. You're also making notes. If you did not know some of these things, I hope that it will be a good history lesson for you all. So we're moving to Reggae Month before I take your questions. And then we have another one, Safer Sex Week, and then we will take your questions after. So also some facts about Reggae Month. And I start with that powerful line there. One good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. I know my young students probably don't know that line, but that one is a popular line from one of our reggae artists. Move on, Mr. Chambers. So we're looking at Reggae Month, and this was started in 2007. So organizers of Reggae Month have charged the government with protecting the musical genre. So in commemorating this event, the celebration started at Edna Manley College of the Visual Arts, and this was done for 3 years. This includes concerts, poetry readings, festivals, award shows, book launches, and lectures. So this year, they will be going virtually, and all the events will be happening virtually, so we can seek to be a part of this event. Reggae Month was officially declared by Sir Kenneth Hall, former Governor General of Jamaica, and is produced by an industry called Jamaica Reggae Industry Association in partnership with the Jamaica Tourist Board and Chase Fund. Reggae Month features various genres of Jamaican music, including ska, dub, gospel, mento, classical, folk, and rockers. This year's theme, I believe, is Catch the Rhythm. Yes, Catch the Rhythm. And this will be done virtually. And as we said earlier, two of our most popular reggae artists, Dennis Brown, who will be celebrating his birthday tomorrow, the Crown Prince of Reggae, and Robert Nesta Bob Marley on the 6th. So these are just few facts about Reggae Month, and we hope that you will do your research as well to get more about these two events that we are observing for the month of February. And we at Kellett will be doing our own. Because of the stream that we're using, we are not able to play any music on it because of copyright policies. So we can't play any of those music that you'd want to hear, some Bob or some Dennis Brown and so on, Bob Andy. But we will be using our Google Meet and our Zoom, which we are able to use those platforms. But for this one, because of copyright policies, we are not able to play any songs. All right, a Safer Sex Week, as I said, will be coming up on February the 8th. The HFLE coordinator, Mr. Walker, and the guidance counselors, Ms. Byfield and Mr. McLeod, they will be organizing events around Safer Sex Week, which was first observed in 1994. It was observed in 1994 during the week of Valentine's Day. And this was basically to heighten awareness of safer sex practices. It is observed during this time because it is felt that individuals are anticipated the increase in sex love, in sexual activity. And therefore, the Ministry of Health would have decided to tie Safer Sex Week at this time so as to sensitize and to expose persons of certain messages that include abstinence. That is still a message that we encourage our young people. That is not to engage in sexual activities until you are responsible adult. We know that some of our young people maybe not listening and may not adopting these messages. So we will also give in messages on condom usage, not from the guidance counselors because they are not able to recommend condoms. They have to preach abstinence, but there are other persons who can encourage the use of condoms if you are not able to abstain, or stick to one faithful partner, an uninfected person if you are an adult. So for children, should always be abstinence and you focus on your education. When you become a responsible adult, then you can always engage in whatever activities that pleases you. So Safe for Sex Week will be coming up and we will be educating our students and entire staff members about messages concerning safer sex. All right, so those are things coming up for the month of February, and we want to encourage the students and parents to be a part. You will hear more about the activities through our WhatsApp groups so that you can participate, and we will make this month a very memorable one for all of our stakeholders. All right, so those are the information that I want to bring to your attention. So face-to-face reopening, we have been given the go-ahead to reopen school face-to-face. However, we will be meeting tomorrow with the ministry to get all the details surrounding the reopening. And then after that, I will be giving you the details as they become available. So no face-to-face class tomorrow, but after tomorrow, we will give you the dates when we will resume face-to-face. Mid-year exams start tomorrow, and this will be online. And this exam will run for 3 weeks from the 1st through to the 19th. We're asking students who will be sitting CXC and CAPE to work on their SBAs and IAs and to present draft copies and draft version of the SBA so that your teachers can vet same and provide timely feedback. We'll be celebrating Black History and Reggae Month for February, as well as 1 week as we observe Safe for Sex Week. All right. Before I take your questions, I don't know if there's any question there, Mr. Chambers, but there are 2 teachers who will be joining staff tomorrow, and we want to welcome them to the Kelly's High School family. I will not say their names publicly until I introduce them to the staff, but there are 2 new teachers who will be joining us, and we want to welcome them to the Kelly's High School family. And you will hear more about and more from these teachers as well. All right, so those are the happenings at Kelly's High School, things that will be coming up, and we look forward to a more fruitful time, because since October the 5th, it has been very difficult in reaching some students, and we hope that now that we would have received the face-to-face green light, that we can interface more with our students and we can provide them with a more quality education product. All right. Any questions at this time? We'll take your questions. We have a little time to go. Curly Hines, just checking in. All right. Miss Hines, I think you're looking forward to face-to-face. I'm not sure which grades will be coming back, but you will get all those details tomorrow. So once I'm through with that meeting, and I would have met with my senior staff and the rest of the staff, we will share all that information with you. Miss Francis, I am Rihanna McLean mom. I just got through to the Wi-Fi. What did I miss, sir? What you missed, the main thing is that face-to-face will be we'll be re-engaging students face-to-face. School will reopen face-to-face in a matter of days. Tomorrow, I'll get the specific information from the Ministry of Education, and we'll pass that on to you as soon as we get those information. I just joined the meeting. When is face-to-face class? All right, I think I just said that. All right. When can you tell me? Tomorrow I'll be meeting the Ministry of Education at 10, and then I'll meet with my staff, and then you will get that information. Are you a part of the PTA WhatsApp group? Miss Francis, are you a part of the WhatsApp group? When I send messages, do you get those messages in the group? You can answer. If not, my number will be running across the screen shortly, and you can send me your number if you're not in the group, and I will add you to the WhatsApp group. So just indicate if you're not, you can send me a message. All right, Mr. Chambers, I can put that number up shortly. Carry on. Yes, I'm not sure. I think you're just introducing yourself. All right, I don't know if you have a question there, or you're just introducing yourself. All right, welcome to the show. We're almost at the end. So that's the school, your principal's business number. You can add it to your phone if you're not a part of the different WhatsApp groups. We have a WhatsApp group for each grade. So if you're not a part of any of those groups, you can send me a WhatsApp message with the child's name and the child's form class. So the form class of the child along with the number. So the name, form class of the child, and the number that you want me to add to the WhatsApp group if you're not a part of any of those groups. Because the information that I will share will go to those groups quicker than when I join you on a Sunday. All right? Any other questions? Hope you're still keeping safe. Hope you're practicing all the COVID-19 protocols, because when you come back to school, you will have to observe all those protocols. You'll have to wear your mask. You'll have to wash your hands, sanitize. You'll have to keep the 6 feet distance. Once you sit in a chair, that is a chair that you'll sit for the rest of the day. You won't be able to change that chair. You'll just sit there. You won't be having any break. You'll have to take your break in your bags. Lunches will be served to you. So there's going to be a raft of new measures that students will have to adjust by and adapt to, because if we don't, then the Ministry of Health can always close down our school, and we don't want that. So we want parents to educate your children as well about the protocols that they will have to observe when we resume face-to-face, so that we can have a safe school. There are schools that have been reopened and have to close because of positive cases, and we don't want to be in that situation as well. So we're asking parents and students to abide by these protocols when we resume face-to-face, which I said is right around the corner. So by tomorrow, I will update you further, all right? So if no other questions, I want to thank you for joining us today for another Principal's Hour. It was our pleasure bringing it to you, and we hope that next week we will be able to join you live on Facebook and YouTube. I want to thank Mr. Chambers, my technical assistant. I want to thank all the team members at Kelly's High School who have been doing a wonderful job, and we continue to serve our clients, our parents, and our students as we seek to raise the bar at Kelly's High School and allow Kelly's High School to be a school of choice. By now, I think persons are convinced that you don't need to send your child to any other school but Kelly's High School. Thanks for joining us. I will look forward to having your company next week, same time. God bless you. Keep safe and observe all the COVID-19 protocols. Take care.